Hi, Santosh here. Today I am going to deliver my lecture number 5, part 2, regarding widening of the roads on the curves as well as method of providing the super elevation. And also it deals with some analytical problems related to geometric design. All the terms are very important considering the various examinations and also important for the degree and diploma level students. So let us start with the widening of road on the curves. Why widening is required on the curve? Because when vehicle moves on the straight portion of the road, it requires less width. But when vehicle moves on the horizontal curved portion of the road, it occupies the more space and it reduces the capacity of the road or number of vehicles accommodating in particular lane. To compensate for this effect, the width of the road on the horizontal curve is increased, and this also increases the visibility on the curves. And what is very important, that is widening is done inside the curves and super elevation is provided on the outer edge of the road, and widening is done on the inside of the curve. While the increased width is constant for the entire portion of the curve, it gradually reduces to the normal width in transition length on either side of the curve. So please look at this figure. This is the figure which shows this extra width. This is the extra width. This one. This is the extra width on the inner edge of the curve. And this portion is the circular for which that width is constant. And this is the transition length for that the width is gradually decreased to the normal level. This is the widening of the road on the horizontal curve. This is also a figure, that is extra widening of pavement on the horizontal curve. For circular curve, the width is constant, but for transition curve, the width is gradually decreased. That is very important. So on the transition part of the curve, width is gradually decreased and it meet the regular width of the road. But for the circular curve, the width is constant and that is more, and that more width is called as a widening of the road on the curves. And widening of the pavement on the sharp curves, only widening is done inside and there is a gradual change in the transition curve. That is very important. So please look at these two figures. In first figure the widening is shown, second figure also widening is shown. First figure is for only on horizontal curve and second is for sharp curve. You must know that what are the two different types of widenings. First is the mechanical widening and second is the psychological widening. Mechanical widening deals with the vehicles and psychological widening deals with the driver's tendency. So what is the formula for that? For mechanical widening, formula is NL square upon 2 RC, and for psychological widening the formula is 0.1 V divided by RC, where N is equal to number of traffic lanes in particular carriageway, L is equal to length of wheelbase of pavement width, RC is equal to radius of horizontal curve, and V is the design speed. So recommendation for horizontal widening of the road on the horizontal curve is depending upon the radius of curve, and the extra widening is depending upon the road is single lane or double lane. For 20-meter radius of curves, for the single lane road, the extra width is to be provided as a 0.9 meter, and for double lane, the extra width is to be provided as 1.5 meter. It is calculated from the formula. For the radius of the curves, 21 meter to 40 meter single lane, the width, extra width is to be provided is 0.6, and for double lane it is 1.5. And please remember this table for your MCQs and other things. Then second important term we are going to discuss is method of providing super elevation. There are two methods of providing super elevation, and you know that when we are going to provide the transition curve, when whenever there is a camber and super elevation, in such a situation we are going to provide the transition curve as discussed in our earlier lecture. So what is the first method? The inner edge of the road is maintained at the same level and outer edge of the road is gradually raised till the camber is neutralized, and the straight line slope is maintained between the inner edge and outer edge. The outer edge of the road are raised till the required super elevation is obtained. So first of all we have to neutralize that inner edge to outer edge ratio up to the camber, and then we have to meet it at super elevation. So that is the method A, and which is generally not used. And second method is used for road, that is method B. The center line of the road is maintained at the same elevation. The center line or the center line RL of the road is maintained at the same elevation, and camber is neutralized by adjusting the outer edge and inner edge of the road. Both edges are adjusted. Camber is neutralized by adjusting the outer edge and inner edge of the road, and the road surface is revolved about the center till the required camber and super elevation is obtained, and that is the method B. So method B is, what is the method B? When transition curve are not provided, in such a situation method B is used. Please look at this figure. In figure the circular curve is also shown, the transition part is also shown, and the tangent at A, tangent at C are also shown, and the length of circular curve is also shown. And for the first method, that is inner edge to outer edge ratio, and we are going to provide the super elevation. In such a situation we are going to provide the transition curve between camber and super elevation. That is very important. Then we are going to discuss some small problems which has been asked in various examinations and also might be asked in MCQs. First example is related to sight distance. Please read that question carefully. Calculate the minimum sight distance required to avoid head-on collision of two cars approaching from the opposite direction. Head-on collision is whenever head-on collision is occurred, vehicles are moving in opposite direction. The speed of the vehicles are 90 and 60 km per hour. Assume a reaction time of 2.5 seconds. Coefficient of friction as a 0.7 and brake efficiency of 50% in either case. In either case, brake efficiency is 50%. Then, as discussed in earlier lecture, we know the formula for the stopping sight distance, because head-on collision vehicles are stopped. We have to calculate that, and the formula is Vt plus V square upon 2Gf. What is the V? V is velocity in meter per second. So for the vehicle number 1, the speed is given as, or velocity is given as 90 kmph. So it is to be converted into meter per second. So it is divided by 3.6. So 90 divided by 3.6, we will get the 25 meter per second is the velocity of first vehicle. And what is the V2? That is velocity of second vehicle, that is 60 kmph, divided by 3.6, we get the 16.67 meter per second. Then we have to consider the brake efficiency is given as 50%. What is meant by that? The wheels will skid through 50% of the braking distance and rotate through the remaining distance. So only 50% of the value of coefficient of friction is to be considered. So we have to convert that 0.7 coefficient of friction multiplied by 0.5. The value occurs as 0.35, and that value may be taken in this formula, that V square upon 2Gf. So we have to calculate the stopping sight distance number 1 and then stopping sight distance number 2, and algebraically adding both the stopping sight distances, we will get the minimum sight distance required for two approaching cars to avoid the accident. So SD1 is, what is the formula? V into T, that is, what is V? 25 we calculated earlier, and what is the T? That is 2.5, that is reaction time is given. So 25 multiplied by 2.5 plus V square. What is V square? 25 square, and divided by 2Gf. 2 multiplied by G is 9.8 and multiplied by coefficient of friction, which is half of that value because of that brake efficiency. So it is 0.35. So SD1 is 153.6 meter, and for second car the SD2 is 82.2 meter, and the side distance is 153.6 plus 82.2, that is 235.8 meter. That is the answer. So in this problem, the things to be remember is to convert the velocity in meter per second, that is divided by 3.6, we will get the velocity in meter per second. Second is brake efficiency is 50%, so we have to convert that coefficient of friction multiplied by that brake efficiency, that is 50% means 0.5. We have to convert that, and you must remember the formula Vt plus V square upon 2Gf, and for the both vehicles we have to calculate the stopping side distance by formula Vt plus V square upon 2Gf, and adding algebraically both we will get the minimum stopping distance. That is important. Then second problem is regarding the design of rate of super elevation for horizontal highway curve of radius 500 meter and speed 100 kmph. So if for mixed traffic conditions super elevation is given by, we consider the mixed traffic condition, and super elevation is given by the equation V square upon 225R. You know the V also. The V is 100 kmph and R is 500 meter. So in this formula the value of V is kmph only. So E is equal to, we did not convert it into meter per second. So E is equal to 100 square divided by 225 and radius in meter only multiplied by 500. So the value is 0.089. That is the value of super elevation. The value is greater than the maximum super elevation. We already discussed the maximum super elevation in any case is 7%. So the value is more than that of 0.07. Okay. Then we have to exercise one check for coefficient of lateral friction developed for full speed using following equation. What is that equation coefficient for that friction? F is equal to V square upon 127R minus 0.07, that is the value of maximum super elevation. So what is the V? That is 100 square divided by 127, R is 500 minus 0.07. So 0.157 minus 0.07, that is 0.087. The coefficient of friction value is 0.087. As the value is lesser than 0.15, that 0.15 is generally the coefficient of friction. So design is safe for the super elevation of 0.07. So what is the design value of super elevation? That is 0.07, not 0.089, not 0.087, because 0.089 is the value of super elevation, and the maximum super elevation we are going to provide, that is 7%, and for that 7% also the value of coefficient of friction is less than 0.15, so that super elevation is safe. Okay. Then we will discuss the third problem, which deals with the horizontal widening of the road on the curves, on the horizontal curves. Calculate the total widening required for 4-lane highway. The value of n is 4 on a horizontal curve of radius 400 meter. The design speed of the highway is 100 kmph and the wheelbase of the vehicle is 7 meter. So you know the formula, that is what is total widening, that is mechanical widening plus psychological widening. What is the formula for mechanical widening? As discussed earlier, NL square divided by 2RC plus psychological widening is the 0.1 V divided by RC, where RC is equal to radius of horizontal curve, which is already given 400 meter. Value of N is the 4-lane road, so value of N is 4. Length of wheelbase is given, that is 7 meter, and design speed is also given, and the value is in kmph only, so we did not need to be converted into meter per second. That design speed is 100 kmph. So by putting all the values, you get the mechanical widening as a 0.25 meter and psychological widening as 0.025 meter, and the result or answer is 0.275 meter, and that is the total widening required. Then we will discuss the another analytical problem regarding the length of transition curve. Determine the length of transition curve for the design speed of 80 kmph to negotiate a curve of radius 300 meter to avoid discomfort to the passengers. Take value of C as a 0.5. So what is the length of transition curve? There is one empirical formula. L is equal to 0.0215 V cube divided by CR. So 0.0215 is the constant into V cube means that is the velocity in kmph, that is 80's cube divided by value of C given as a 0.5 and radius of curve already given as a 300 meter. All the terms are known. So using calculator you will get the length of transition curve as a 73.40 meter. So for this formula you must remember that empirical formula. The length of transition curve L is equal to 0.0215 V cube upon CR, where velocity in kilometer per hour and radius in meter. The value of C is given also, and you can calculate by putting all these values in that empirical equation to get the length of transition curves. So this is very important terms for geometric design of the highways, and you must remember all these three terms, that is mechanical widening of the road on the horizontal curve. You must know the mechanical widening, you must know the psychological widening, and you also must know, or you also know the method of providing the super elevations, which are very important terms considering examination. So for more details and more notes you may contact my administrator also, or you can email me, and please subscribe me for more and more lectures on civil engineering, especially on MPSC mains and competitive type of examinations. Till then, bye bye. See you in next lecture shortly. Bye.